Hey, welcome to Horns Up. Happy International Workers' Day, Peter.
I didn't know it was International Workers' Day. I've grown up knowing it only as Labor Day or Maharashtra Day growing up in Bombay.
Yeah, but come on, this podcast isn't only heard by people living in Maharashtra. So you have to take an international, man. It's International Workers' Day, better known as Labor Day or just as May Day. May Day, May
Yeah.
Day. It's a cry for help, too. The world is crying for help today. Yeah. But what's weird is the music world actually isn't really crying for help, or at least there's somebody who's responding to the cry for help as such and donning that superhero cape. It's Bandcamp, of course. Anyways, yeah, so Bandcamp did this last month when it waived off its commission as such for all artists. So whatever you were paying for or buying on Bandcamp would the money would directly go to the artists themselves or to the labels themselves, and Bandcamp wouldn't take its usual cut. And that was a huge success. So much so that now Bandcamp has said that, okay, cool, we'll be doing this for 3 more days in the coming months. I think it's the first Friday of every new month as such, right? So May
Yeah.
1st, then there's whatever the first Friday of June is and whatever the first Friday of July is. I know I should have had
Right.
the dates down there, but I
So basically
don't.
the 5th of June and 3rd of July.
Oh my God, somebody's doing homework.
No, I just opened the calendar.
Yeah, yeah. So Peter and I were discussing what to do about this because this directly helps a lot of artists, etc. So should we feature some artists or talk about some things or recommend albums, etc. that you guys should be checking out? And we said, no, man, this is an international event, and who knows what your tastes in music are, and we are not elitist snobs who are going to look down upon you if you choose to, maybe, I don't know, get a different album than what we recommend. So here's our suggestion for to make the most of this Bandcamp thing. Now that you know that Bandcamp will be doing this next June as well as in July, as well as today actually, why don't all of you just troll Bandcamp like in the old days? Come on, it's not like you guys have better things to do in this time. Just troll Bandcamp, search out the artists or the releases that really excite you, and then come these days again, the special Bandcamp days, go out and actually buy the damn thing so that the artists are directly receiving the money. Is that a decent strategy?
Yeah, I think it totally works, man. There's so much new music coming out, and I think quite a few artists, I've been getting emails are putting out exclusives today itself.
Yeah, a lot of them you can find out on Bandcamp's blogs itself. I mean, there are so many artists and labels offering special donations or special merch or special releases, which are only Bandcamp exclusives, etc. Over 150 at last count. Yeah, so we'll link you to that list. Anybody special that you want to talk about, Peter?
Well, guests on our show earlier, Haunt, they're doing a Bandcamp exclusive. So there's going to be a single out today. So yeah, that I'm looking forward to that. Anything you're
Okay.
looking for?
I'm not really sure. I'm like, there are a lot of names that have come to mind that I want to just put the money where the mouth is as such. I want to check out the Total Fucking Destruction thing because that's really getting a lot of talk.
Oh,
Um, Going back to earlier discoveries on Bandcamp, like this Malaysian alternative stroke punk band called Milo Dinosaur that I really liked, and I think they had a EP or an album out earlier this year, so maybe I'll end up supporting them. Maybe go back and look at Ice Dragon. Yeah, get some things from there too, because I know they've been releasing a shit ton of music.
a label I've been enjoying a lot of music from, Holy Roar, is doing a lot of
Oh yeah.
exclusive itself today. Plus, they're doing giveaways. So, in addition to buying stuff and supporting the artists, you could get stuff also. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that could be like a return gift,
Yeah.
like birthday parties. Parties, remember when we had those?
Now it's all about the Zoom parties, man.
Yeah, nobody invites me to a Zoom party. I'm just not cool enough. Anyways, yeah, but that's not all that we have on the show today. We are going to go old school once again. Since we kicked off the week with a superb interview with Blaze Bailey, we thought it's best to continue or finish the week with another old school band, Candlemass, the legendary Candlemass as such, who released a new EP called Pendulum or The Pendulum way back in March. Actually, that's around the time when the entire lockdown, etc., we were just getting used to things. And we had a chance to speak to vocalist Johan Langquist, who was also the first vocalist for Candlemass as such. First, as in he appeared on the band's Epicus Doomicus Metallicus, which is by far considered to be the, what do you say, the blueprint for most doom metal, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, every band that plays doom metal or any of the subgenres of doom that have spawned lately owe a bit to Candlemass and especially that album.
Yep. It's a fairly interesting chat because Johan almost is, like a session musician to Candlemass because Leaf is the one who writes all the
Right.
songs and is the band's kind of, it's his band largely. So this is a slightly not weirdish, but it's as close to Candlemass as we can get without actually talking to Candlemass.
Yeah, and he does make quite a few interesting points. So let's dive straight into the interview.
All right, here he is. Here's Johan Langquist. And now with us we have Johan Langquist. Did I get that right? Is that the right pronunciation?
Yeah, Johan Langquist sounds pretty good in English. That's okay.
That means I didn't botch it up completely, or did I? That means I didn't botch up the name completely, did I?
No, you didn't.
Awesome. How's it
Yeah,
going with you? How's your day been so far?
yeah, pretty good. It's a bit strange now in this Corona times. So, but I still go to work, so I'm okay. But the whole community feels a bit on what do you say, slowed down. Yeah,
We can totally imagine because both of us sitting here in Mumbai, India, are kind of homebound.
We are
yeah,
locked
yeah,
down
yeah, yeah.
as a
It's the
country.
same with a lot of people here in Sweden too right now. If you sneeze at work, they just tell you, please go home.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Uh, all right. So let's kind of shift the conversation to something a little more positive. Um,
Yeah,
if you
that's
don't
good.
mind, let's jog your memory a few decades back to your childhood.
Yeah.
What has your journey with metal been like, and how did your musician life begin?
Yeah, I think I was about 15, 16 when I had a dream of starting up a band, and me and a couple of friends did, and we could do the rehearsals in our school, but we had to carry all our stuff every single time. But we continued, and we changed band members a couple of times. But then in the end, it turned up to be a band called Jonah Quiz. That was my very first band, and actually we were just. But it was a very good band. We had a really good time, and we actually almost got a real contract, and to have a real record company behind you at that time was pretty unique. But something happened, so it didn't turn out well in the end. But that's the way how that band ended up. But continued to write music, and I've been in some other bands, not that famous, but I've pretty much been into music all of my life, and I've been writing songs more or less all of my life.
But if you could just tell us, what was the main thing that got you interested in music or rock and metal, to be a little more specific?
Yeah, I think my very first in the very beginning I listened to T-Rex and Mud, on the jukebox. I don't think there are any jukeboxes around anymore, but maybe in India, I don't know, but not here in
Yeah,
Sweden.
there are a
But
few.
that was my very first love, listening to T-Rex and Mud from a jukebox. And then later on, I found Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, and actually some punk rock bands in Sweden. One band called Ebba Grön that was, in my opinion, pretty close to heavy metal, actually, but not played at the in the same way as you play metal, but the energy and the songs were pretty similar, in my opinion. At least that band, Ebba Grön, that I'm talking about right now.
From all those bands, eventually, in comes Candlemass. What really led to Candlemass? How did that whole thing come about?
Yeah, it was actually about the same time when Johan Langquist was doing well, and they called me up because they wanted to do that Epicus record, and they asked me if I could do the record for them, and it was exactly the same time when we were about to have that record contract that I was talking about earlier. So I said that I'm sorry, I have my own project right now, and that's where my heart is. So of course I can help you out doing the album, but I can't give you all of me right now because I'm into this to my own band, Jonah Quiz, and I think they were looking for other singers too, but then later on they said that we want you to do the album anyway, and that's about how it all turned out in the end.
So, what were your first impressions of the music that Candlemass played at that time?
Yeah, the very first time I heard the songs, I had a, what do you say, cassette tape, a tape from them to
Oh,
listen to the songs before we went into the studio. And to be honest, I had never heard anything like that at that time. So I was, wow, what's this? uh, and but still I found something in the music, and I was thinking that all I can do is sing as melodic as I can in the songs, and that's about what I did. I try to find what do you say, good melodies. Of course, Leif had written the songs, but I kind of put my own touch into the vocals with finding different tunes here and there, and it was a very good opportunity at that time for anyone to record an album, and I told them I'm happy to help you guys out, and I did. And I went to the studio, and I think we did the whole album within a week or something like that. Very fast.
That's awesome. You know, there's a fantastic review I read of Epicus Doomicus Metallicus, where it says that your voice was the perfect fit for that album because your voice was and your singing was so depressive and melancholic. Now,
Yeah, yeah,
to an average reader, that shouldn't be a compliment, but it really is, isn't it?
yeah. You. I think what is important in music is that you have to be true to yourself, and if someone tells you to do it in a special way, of course you can listen to that, but you have to be comfortable doing it your way in the music. That at least it's very important for me to feel that I kind of step into the music and feel that I'm a part of what I do. That's very important for me. It's not worth it trying to copy someone else, or you have to be honest to yourself, and that's what I did. I think so, at least. It's a lot of years ago. that,
Yeah.
that that's about how I feel about music these days. Anyway,
So, from Epicus to now, your latest release, which is the Pendulum EP. Now,
yeah,
the EP is a collection of tracks that from the Door to Doom sessions. Why
yeah.
choose to release the EP now?
I think we decided that a long time ago, because at the very beginning, I don't think Leif was satisfied about how the songs were at that time, and he wanted, what do you say, kind of refresh the songs one more time, and I did new vocals on them, and they thought that it what do you say, piece of a puzzle was there when I did the vocals on these songs, and that's why they decided we're to give them out for the people. I think so.
I want to get your views on this. Lately, in this digital age, because of various reasons, you have people who say EPs and singles are better than albums. What do you think? Is there a space for heavy metal to go the singles only way, like how you see pop music? Or does it have
Yeah.
to remain the pure EP or album space?
I haven't thought about that so much, but I think it's important, of course, to keep the band alive, and I think that every single song that comes out to the people is good, and it takes time sometimes to make a full album. So if you can do an EP just to what do you say, give your fans some songs, I think that's a very good idea. I think so. Simply, it's as simple as that. If I really do like a band, and they do an album, and then I have to wait for another 2 years or 3 years for the next album, I think I would appreciate to get a couple of songs pretty close to the album. That's my opinion about that.
Just to build on that for a bit, do you feel that this shift towards shorter releases uh, has had an impact on your songwriting process, or hasn't at all?
No, no. In Candlemass, Leif is the main songwriter in Candlemass, and I think Candlemass wouldn't be Candlemass without the songs that Leif has done. And all I can do as a singer is to try to do my very best. But my own songwriting has at the time has nothing to do with Candlemass, because Leif, he's an artist, and he comes up with songs and great ideas all the time. So I'm not involved in the writing of the songs. Of course, I can do a couple of changes in the vocals here and there, but not. He's the main songwriter.
Okay, but do you feel then, or at least from your interactions with Leif, that this shift towards, preferring shorter releases has had an impact, or you think he's still gonna prefer, the album or the EP space as we've been doing for the last few decades?
I don't know if I understand you right, but if you mean that should we continue doing EPs or do full records, I'm pretty sure that we will do more records in the band right now.
Okay.
Not very close in time, but as soon as there are some free time to do that. That's our ambition, I can tell.
All right. We'd like to, at this point, to play a song from the EP. So if you could tell us which song you would like us to play and why.
Yeah, you can do what one could you do? You can do the Porcelain Skull, because I've listened to Pendulum for so many times now, but because we're planning to do that one live. So
I was secretly hoping you would choose Porcelain
Same
Skull
here.
too.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one.
yeah, it's a
All right.
good one.
Black magic affection when the summer's gone. Countdown to my destruction.
So, Johan, we can't leave you without talking about the Candlemass legacy. After all,
Hmm.
the band's first album, Epicus Doomicus Metallicus, is credited for giving the genre of doom metal its name.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I know.
let's start by first asking you, what is doom metal to you? How would you define it?
Yeah, doom metal is for me pretty much like I'm having a hard time putting everything into different genres, but I find it slow and heavy. It's pretty much as simple as that, but it can also be fast and I think it's about the lyrics as well. That's pretty much how I see doom metal as powerful in one way or another.
Okay. What do you mean by the lyrics itself? I mean, you can
Yeah,
have a thrash metal band singing about the stuff that you guys think about.
yeah. Of course you can, but I mean, when I started playing music, it I called everything heavy metal. So I'm actually having a problem. I can't tell the difference between all the kinds of metal that do exist right now because I don't know how many different kinds are there, 20, 30, something like that, power metal, all kinds of metal. I'm not I do not listen to so much music in private actually. Of course, I listen to music, but I don't know all the genres um, when it comes to all the different kinds. But let's say Black Sabbath is one of the most doom metal like bands, in my opinion. The early Black Sabbath and it's hard to tell.
All right.
To me, it's heavy
So
metal all over.
having said that, how do you think that metal has evolved from the time you started playing in heavy metal bands?
Yeah, there are so many great musicians out there, actually. And sometimes you even can feel embarrassed, when you meet young people, they're playing guitars like a hero when they're 20 years old, and a lot of good musicians. And of course, but it's also very important to keep the spirit and the souls in the music. I think it's not only about playing as good as possible. You have to keep your heart in what you do, or that's I think that's very important. And there are so many great bands out there. Of course, I listen to. I can't give you any names right in but
You
there
kind of
there are a lot
walked
of
in.
good bands out there, but there are so many it's hard to find them, the one that you find interesting yourself. There's so many to pick from.
Take your time with this because you kind of walked into my next question.
Mm.
You have mentioned that you don't listen to a lot of music, but metal or non-metal, like if you could just check what's been like the last 3 to 5 bands or artists you albums you've been listening to. I'm very curious to know.
Now, I'm pretty actually sad to say, but I'm pretty much stuck in the beginning of the 80s. I think there was a lot of good music done in the beginning of the 80s, and that's definitely where my heart is. And every time I hear a new band and I can hear a touch from the 80s, that makes me happy. And I can tell the last songs I was listening to. I think it was actually Jorn. Do you know the
Yeah,
Norwegian guy Jorn?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I really do like some of the songs that he has done. I think that's pretty much. I think I don't know how old he is. I think he's younger than I am, but some of the songs they're really good. I think so.
Now, the second question I had regarding the legacy itself is to do
Mhm.
with expectations. A band that's as influential as Candlemass, there are fans right from the old school days, from when you started, to new fans who will discover you with the previous album or the latest EP. And
Yeah,
naturally, everyone, all these fans, the promoters, all the stakeholders of the band itself, they have expectations from Candlemass of various kinds.
yeah.
Do these kind of expectations, do they weigh on the band at all when it comes to writing music or performances or
Mm,
anything that you guys do?
no, I don't think so. I think we're doing good right now in the band, and we're having a good time. So of course, I really do love and respect all the people that like the Candlemass music, and all my respect to them. And I can tell that every single gig that we're out there doing, wherever it is in the world, our ambition is always to do a very good gig. So, and I'm honored and very humble because wherever we go right now, the people are so friendly and full of love. So I really do love meeting the audience. It's a fantastic time right now, and we have to treat that very, what do you say, gift opportunity very well, and I'm pretty sure that all of us are willing to do that.
Here's a final question to you. Through
Okay.
these 34 years, since Epicus was released, we've seen different eras of the band, we've seen different members. In all of this, what, in your opinion, keeps Candlemass, well, Candlemass?
Yeah, I think the main thing is the songs that Leif is writing, and I don't know, but I know there been ups and downs, and but one thing right now for sure is that Leif is in a very good mood, because I don't know if you know all the stories from a couple of years ago. He actually has been very low when it comes to Candlemass. He was actually about to quit the band, but now he's got new energy and thinking that yeah, he's pretty satisfied about the way that the band is right now, and that's very important. Leif can't leave Candlemass, because the day when Leif doesn't want to be a member of Candlemass anymore, I think that there would not be Candlemass anymore. I think so. That's my opinion, because he's such an important piece of the Candlemass puzzle.
Well, personally speaking, I think you shouldn't leave Candlemass ever either.
No, no, no. I'm planning to do it all the way to the end, actually.
Awesome, awesome. Johan, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you taking out time and talking to us.
Thank you for calling me up. It's actually my very first call from India.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're getting that a lot these days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe we haven't been there yet, but you never know what happens in the future.
exactly.
I agree.
Is there a big metal scene in India, or?
Yes, there is a metal scene here, and it's pretty active too. In fact, we've had quite a few big name bands as well as legacy acts, etc., all coming down to India over the last decade or so. And
Okay,
I
okay.
think now we are reaching a stage where uh, it's where promoters are looking for acts who obviously are not just draws, but also because we just want to see them and we haven't had a chance of seeing them yet.
Of course, of course.
So I'm pretty sure Candlemass will have, like, if you guys are ever booked, I'm pretty sure you will draw in a sizable crowd.
Okay, thank you. That's good to hear.
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Thank you so much for
Mhm.
your time and have a good rest of the day.
Thank you very much. Was
Thank
it
you very much.
Animesh and Peter? Is that right?
Yes,
Correct.
it was.
Yeah. I thank you, Peter and Animesh, for the interview. Thank you very much.
All right. Horns up.
Bye bye.
So it feels fairly certain that Candlemas is going to continue doing what it is doing, right? With whatever Johan said, we're going to
Yep.
see some more albums.
Yep, and it'll be quite interesting to see now, especially with a lockdown. Although I don't think Sweden had as severe a lockdown as us, but still a slowdown of sorts. What kind of impact it has on creativity or new music that they're going to release.
The most interesting fact about Sweden that I read today in the news was the fact that Sweden is going to allow kids to hug their grandparents.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's good news or whether that's draconian ways of controlling children. Okay, now you may hug them for precisely 30 seconds.
Well,
Anyways,
it is indeed strange times we live in.
yep, that it is. So that's all we have for Horns Up this week. You can reach out to us on hornsupport.com. Let us know what you guys are buying off Bandcamp, or if you're not buying off Bandcamp, what artists would you like to buy off Bandcamp? Yeah, and by the way, if for some reason or whatever reason you can't get new music to you, well, stay tuned to our Twitter channels because we may have some way of getting you guys new music which just isn't on the podcast.
Yeah, it's going to be quite fun and interesting. So stay tuned to Ons Up Pod on Twitter.
And with that, let us leave you. You can find us on Twitter too. It's at Asmohani.
And I'm Trent Crusher.
Until next time, horns up.
Ons Up.